So as shown in the beginning of the video, we basically got a new combo for the build, and it was basically just trying out the Shatter passive. So like basically what happens is, you vacuum enemies onto each other that get frozen, and not all of them get frozen at the same time. So basically it starts like a chain reaction where each Shatter feeds into the next one in terms of damage. Basically all of the Shatters feed into each other. And then the final pop is probably the biggest one. I don't have damage numbers turned on because you can't see anything if you turn on damage numbers, but that's basically how I expect that it works. And vacuuming, as I expected, is I think the strongest clear speed mechanic that you can do in the Abattoir of Zir. And if you have any freeze in your build, you should be using Shatter. Basically just pull a huge group of enemies, freeze them, and then have like a chain Shatter explosion. One of the other things that I changed is I basically got rid of a lot of defense on my build. Like even with only like 11,000 armor, I was doing fine. So I removed a bunch of life nodes, and I removed most of the last Paragon board. And one other stat that I picked up that I think could be pretty good in like the higher tiers is chance to execute injured non-elite enemies. Like even the white monsters are pretty tanky. So like if you can just kill them instantly, it's gonna speed up your clear speed. And they also had like attack speed next to them. So I think like the main issue that people are gonna have is just facing the bloodseekers at the end. They have so many different stats on them that there's a high chance that at least one of them will have either suppressor or waller, which destroy your ball lightnings. I think like past tier 10, ball lightning sorcerer is probably going to need to do like item swaps or skill swaps if they want to play ball lightning during the like main part of the dungeon, or you're just gonna have to do a lot of runs and hope that you don't get a brick like bloodseeker spawn at the end. Basically, you need like some kind of reliable damage that doesn't get screwed over by waller and suppressor. And like when all of the enemies die, you do have like a couple of seconds to switch items or passives, and I was even doing that. Maybe like wizard, ice spikes, or charge bolts. And then like as the item swaps, like for the bloodseekers, you don't need the shared misery aspect, so you can use different boots. You don't need the ice shard pierce aspect also for the bloodseekers, so you could have a second ring swap. And I mean, this is really, the other thing is this is only really necessary because I didn't want to level up the glyph. If you get like another 10 levels on the glyph, I'm sure you'd be able to complete a few more tiers in the dungeon. But I was just trying to improve the build without grinding the experience on the glyph, because it's gonna be a long grind. And this dungeon that I got on my tier 10 run was probably the highest density one that I had seen so far. Like a lot of the earlier tiers had like no monsters in them, and like I couldn't even really use what I had planned to use with my build, like where there was like tons of enemies to like suction up together. The build still worked, but like I didn't get to like blow up an insane amount of monsters like I do in this video. So like, I mean, I thought this dungeon was really fun with, you know, this many enemies. I hope they like balance the monster density, or at least maybe just increase it in some of the other dungeons, the other dungeon layouts. I do have a new max roll planner build, you know, with the Paragon board. But yeah, I'm probably just going to be experimenting how to deal with the bloodseekers. People probably have other ideas as well, and you can post your ideas in the comments. Because I actually don't think ball lightning is the answer to beat the bloodseekers. Use the staff of Liam Neeson. Maybe trigger some other lucky hits. Like that staff has the same shotgunning mechanics as ice shards, but it doesn't require things to be frozen. But you do have to cast the charge bolts yourself. I mean, there is the shrine staff, but it's not going to be reliable. I mean, it might save your run if you run into a suppressor elites at the end. But you'd have to get the correct shrine, so I guess there's just a less chance of breaking your run if you can like item swap to the shrine staff right before the end. I think that's about all I had to say. If there's anything else, I'll just post a comment or update the video description. So the rest of the round will just play out now. Thanks.